You bet. Mr. Chairman, thank you to the two of you for hosting us. I'd say we're off to a pretty good start. I hope we can continue to check our egos and our Kool-Aid in at the door. And I honestly believe if we portray an honest picture of our nation's economic diet, Americans won't be afraid to eat their vegetables. And that's where we should go. To me, the principal question I want to see answered as we explore the economic condition we're in is, what kind of nation do we want to be? Because we can balance our budget, but if we've sacrificed educating our children, China will overtake us a lot faster than most people expect. We can balance our budget, but if we did it at the sake of making smart expenditures for our national defense, we may not be around very long to see the fruits of that balanced budget. And so I hope what we do is answer the question of what kind of nation do we want to be. Last year, General Electric generated over $10 billion in pre-tax income. They ended up owing nothing to Uncle Sam. In fact, they got $1.1 billion back in a tax rebate. That's what happens when we are out of whack fiscally and economically as a country. Today, some $120,000 will be spent on Capitol Hill by 25 of the top banks in America, most of which benefited directly or indirectly by the TARP financial bailout. But they will spend about $120,000 today lobbying, in most cases against, Wall Street reform. They've done that for the last several days. In fact, in the first quarter, they have been spending at that clip $120,000 a day lobbying. To put it in perspective, that's more than 2.5 times what the average salary is of an American working for a full year. To me, rebuilding the middle class will be paramount, discussing all of what we do over the course of the next several months. The best thing we can do for our fiscal future and for future generations is to rebuild America's middle class. To me, that means decent jobs and a business climate to support our families, being able to send our kids to college, and I say that as the first in my family to have an opportunity to get a bachelorate, home ownership, dignified, secure retirement, and affordable quality health care. And I think there we have made the first big step with the passage of historic health care reform. But greed gets the gain while the people get the pain. And I believe that it's time for us to recognize that during the height of, or I should say the depths of this economic recession, the net worth of American households dropped more than $16 trillion, far more than what it's going to take us to balance the deficits and balance the debts of this country as we see them. And so I hope what we're asking ourselves is, what does it take to restore the quality of life for the middle class? How do we rebuild that American middle class? And to me, the largest deficit we face is a jobs deficit. If Americans to work, America will work. Yet, in the last year alone, we lost over 1.2 million manufacturing jobs. If we have an efficient and productive government, I think we can take a lesson from what Drew Weston said. He said, it's time politicians stopped running for or against government and started running it well. Our people are getting their money's worth from every dollar we spend as a federal government. Americans will reward us, whether it's because we've dealt with all the tax expenditures, which, by the way, add up to about $1 trillion every year in spending, those tax loopholes, or whether it's dealing with direct government programs. A couple of quick examples. The Department of Defense, not long ago, in the early 2000s, bought an aircraft refrigerator. They ended up paying twice as much as they had expected. Instead of paying $13,825 for that aircraft refrigerator, they paid $32,642. Cost overruns, the General Accountability Office has told us, have cost the Department of Defense and the American taxpayers over $296 billion. That's larger than the amount that we're trying to find to cover the deficit for the 2015 budget. And so I conclude by saying this. Hope we take a look under every rock there is And I hope we do it for the American public, because at the end of the day, if we help the middle class believe that they can send their kids to college, if we make them believe that we are restoring integrity to government, we will benefit from it and we will be rewarded. But rather than running for or against our government, I hope we're prepared to help it run well. And so, Mr. Chairman, I'm looking forward to working with everyone here, and I appreciate the opportunity to serve.
Thank you very much.